Hello, I'm Father Lou Scurti with Friends of the Word, the Weekday Word. Today, I'd like to take a reading from the Monday of the 10th week of the year. It's from the Gospel of Matthew. It's something that you are very familiar with, and I hope to address it and do it some honor in a few seconds after we read it and reflect and appropriate it into our lives. And it's from the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 5. When Jesus saw the crowds, he went up to the mountain, and after he had sat down, his disciples came to him, and he began to teach them, saying, Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are they who mourn, they will be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the land. Blessed are they who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be satisfied. Blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy. Blessed are the clean of heart, for they shall see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called the children of God. Blessed are they who are persecuted for the sake of righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when they insult you and persecute you and utter every kind of evil against you falsely because of me. Rejoice and be glad, for your reward will be great in heaven. Thus they persecuted the prophets who went before you. The Gospel of the Lord. I think this gospel could be on the front page of our newspapers and magazines every day, right now in the 21st century, because it's happening all over the world. Persecutions, mourning, hunger, thirst, lack of mercy, people who are the opposite too, people who are seeking peace, people who are showing mercy, people who are feeding the hungry. And it's going on in our world today. It's probably always been in our world, but we are reaching a fever pitch of greed, of hate, of terror throughout the world. I mean, our people and our friends and sisters and brothers of the Middle East suffering unbelievably. A few terrorist groups terrorizing the world, basically. Yes, in one section of the world, if you want to limit geography, but what goes on the other side of the world is going on here. Well, we're one family. Recently, the editorial of the America magazine, it's a Jesuit magazine that I read very often. It's filled with relevant information and insight often. Just a little section, I want to quote the June 9th edition, in which the editor is talking about greed and money and profit. But I want to quote one section that he quotes on Pope Francis. Pope Francis has emphasized the problems of the economic inequality. In his 2014 World Day of Peace message, he worried about the contemporary tendency to seek, quote, happiness and security in consumption and earnings out of all proportions to the principles of sound economy. He called for a social order that guarantees basic rights, including access to education and adequate health care, discouraging excessive compensation while persevering. And this kind of excessive compensation is at the cost of health care, social concerns, and the poor. We are in a crisis in so many ways. We cover our heads and go into our own little cocoons. We're not going to be aware of what's going on out there in the world. Jesus addressed it centuries ago, and it's still our goal to address poverty, equality, justice. It's our goal. And I don't want to say, we're the number one nation in the world, so we're the guardians of the world. But in our own world, whether it's a town, family, city, country, church, we have to be examples of the Beatitudes, the blessings. We have to be examples of those who comfort those who mourn, of those who are encouraging the meek to own land, to get just wage for their gift and their talent, to be respectful of people and the individuality of individuals and nationalities. Oh, it's a big, big, big challenge. But this is Christianity. We go from the conception to the grave with goals, and all the goals focus on Jesus Christ and what he has given us. Love for the poor, respect for people, and non-judgmental attitudes. It's tough. It really is tough. If someone hurts you and accuses you falsely, you want to smack them on the cheek, not turn the other cheek. I know, we will do that. But Jesus says, when they utter every kind of falsehood against you because of me, rejoice and be glad, because your reward in heaven is great. But in the meantime, work toward the elimination of that injustice. Don't be just, a good friend of mine once said, he was Jewish, and he said, sometimes my mother-in-law treats me like a schmata. I had no idea what he was talking about. He says, you know what I mean? I says, no, not really. He says, a rag, or a schmata. You grab it and you clean things with it. Sometimes his mother-in-law treated him like a schmata, wet rag. The Italians would call it a mapina, a rag that you clean things with. That's not our goal, to be schmatas or mapinas. Our goal is to be strong human beings, Christian human beings, who respect the individuality and strength of others, whether they are weak or whether they are rich, whether they are poor or whether they are unhealthy. The goal is ours. Poverty needs to be eliminated in our time. It may not be. It's been here a long time. But one step at a time. In the steps of Jesus Christ, who says to the poor, blessed are you. Blessed are the poor. Blessed are those who mourn. Blessed are the meek. Blessed are the merciful. Blessed are the clean of heart. Blessed are you and I as we seek the will of God in our lives. Thank you for joining me. This is Father Lou Scurti with Friends of the Word. Contact me at fatherlouscurti@hotmail.com. God bless you.